brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors and professors, those who are listening from the field of science, religion, spirituality, arts, commerce, and engineering. It is very nice time, nice action. Your presence is praiseworthy, admirable, appreciable. I heartily, cordially welcome all of you. St.Dr.RK from USA. Presence of Saint Dr. Narendra Modi ji. Availability of ministers and doctors. Respected parents. Affectionate sons and daughters. Brothers, dear friends. We are learning teachings of Jainism. It is the conception and belief of the Hinduism that we have life after death, and it was strongly addressed to the world by Swami Vivekananda. It is the root philosophy of our Indian culture. In Jain philosophy, the belief is that after spending a righteous life, one gets to heaven, which is an utopia, where there is no suffering from old age, disease or death. But as mentioned earlier in the passage on basic philosophy, one tied down to a vicious cycle of birth, death, rebirth, and the goal of every human should be to adjust karmas by stopping their inflow, which are caused by sansaric existence, and disperse the residual karmas, means nirjara through penance, means tapsh, till the very seed of karma, means karam bees, is finished. Scriptures or our holy books of all religions, teachings of founder Mahavir were not documented earlier and were only passed down orally. A follower named Bahadur Bahu, who belonged to the Digambar sect, was believed to be the last person to know the master's teachings verbatim. Soon after Bahadur Bahu's death, the leader of Shwetambar sect by the name Satulabdra Shalubhadra, by the name Sthulabhadra, summoned a council at Patliputra, present day Patna in Bihar state in eastern India, where fundamental principles of Jainism were documented in 12 sections, means Angas, replacing the 14 earlier texts. This was accepted only by Shwetambar sect, to which this other leader Sthulabhadra belonged, and the other sect of Digambras set out to write their own new scriptures. In the middle of the first millennium AD, some commentaries or interpretations were also written about the original Shwetambar scriptures by several learned monks. Some Jain monasteries in the western part of India are known to have preserved a few sacred texts. Jain religious literature. Jain generally about cajoling followers to adhere to formal strict rules. Virtue of non-violence, as described in such literature, is much about vegetarianism and precautions against unintended killing of lesser beings like insects, etc. Worship. Tirthankars were adorned as icons in temples with offering flowers, incense and lighting of lamps. Similar to Hindu practices of worship, sometime in the not so distant past, major Hindu gods also found place in Jain temples, perhaps in an attempt to fit into the Hindu order. This of course was done without any compromise with their philosophy on existence of God. Jain idols are typically cool, white and non-expressive, because Jain feel that an idol in front of a worshipper is like a flower before a mirror and will reflect its own color and passion. A devout Jain rises before dawn and after ablution goes to temple. What is Prathika, symbol of Jain faith, was officially adopted in 1975 at celebrations of the 2500th anniversary of Mahavira's Nirvana. Sign shown here is called Satya or Swastik, representing saint teacher. It also represents four possible forms of rebirth as animal, a plant, in hell, on earth, or in the realm of spirits. The palm of the hand carries a stylized version of the word ahimsa, means non-violence, in a circle having 24 lines on the periphery, symbolic of the 24 saint teachers. A devout Jain rises before dawn and after ablution goes to temple for daily worship, involving the five supreme beings who represent five stages along the path to salvation. In fact, Jains are encouraged to set aside 48 minutes daily for meditation and to live the life of a monk for one full day during a festival called Pajushan, growth and sex. For about 200 years after Mahavir had passed away, Jainism remained confined to a small community of monks and lay adherents with less recognition than the recognition gained by Vikas, founded by one of Mahavir's contemporaries, Chandragupta Maurya, in 322 to 298 BC. The Magad emperor patronized Jainism, which gave this religion quite a boost. Later, he even renounced his throne and became a Jain monk. Jainism established itself firmly in several places in India, getting patronages of other royalties also after never crossed the Indian borders. But unlike Buddhism, which disappeared from the land of its origin, Jainism continues to survive in India. At the time of a famine, during the reign of Emperor Chandragupta Maurya, 322 to 298 BC, many Jain monks migrated southwards, where they established several centers of Jain faith. Out of this southward migration arose a great schism. One migrant leader, Bhadrabahu, insisted on upholding the tradition of nudity as originally started by founder Mahavir, while another leading monk from among the group of monks who had stayed back allowed his followers to wear garments of white color. This resulted in formation of two sects sometime 1st century AD, namely Digambar, meaning sky or space clad, that is naked, who believed in total renunciation to the extent of renouncing clothes and go naked, and Svetambar, meaning white clad, who believed in not going naked and allowing nuns to join their order, means as against the other sect which did not allow women to join their order. Although there were no fundamental doctrinal differences between these two sects, the one major difference of being or not being naked also became defunct as Digambars. The sect which The sect which earlier believed in going naked also took to wearing clothes, at least in public. The schism persists even today without divergence from teachings of Mahavir, the founder. Later, these Swetambars became dominant in certain parts of Gujarat, Kathiawad region, and Rajasthan in western India. Digambars became dominant in southern states of India, such as in parts of Karnataka, that is Mysore region, and Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad region. Revival of Hinduism in the Middle Ages had its effect on Jain following. Attempts were made to recognize themselves and to ensure continuity of their identity. Late 19th century saw setting of organizations toward this objective. One reason for survival of Jainism, in contrast to Buddhism in India, is said to be the direct involvement of lay adherents also as firm members of the order, who are encouraged to lead austere lives generally and very austere lives periodically. Brothers and sisters, all of you are listening. The truth of the worldly religions. Our Indian land is known as the land of religions, customs, colors, styles, languages, and we have varieties, adversities, distinctions on the basis of its divergence. But unity in diversity, it is the strongest feature of our nation. Basically, we feel the presence of Lord in the truth and non-violence. All the worldly religions were channelized and originated from the Indian land, because it is only the land of India which provided the true friendship with nature. Because Indian economy is known as agriculturist economy, and we are very near, very close with the natural changes, all the celestial that we have around our human body, in the sky and on the earth, in the ocean, in all the forms of celestial bodies, astronomies, astrologies, and in all 484 lakh species. That is the part of ecosystem. Students study in science. All these are the parts of nature. And we have studied, we are studying, and we will study. Researchers are researching. But the true research of the spiritual power that is inside the human body, it is appealed, advocated, generated, developed and operated by the starters, beginners and initiators of the different religions of the Indian land. As per the notion of our forefathers, Brahm Samaj, or Brahmism, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Swami Vivekananda, who started Ramkishan Mission, Gautam Buddha, who started Buddhism, Mahavir Swami, who started Jainism, Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, who started Sikhism, Jesus Christ, who was the founder of Christianity, Hazrat Muhammad Sahib, who was the starter of Islam. So, our Indian land is the colorful land. It has the origins, basic origins of all Indian and worldly religions. We feel proud on our land, and every scholar, learner must know about our culture, civilization, climate, and cultural, spiritual values of our nation. Time to time, our youngsters, youth of India, taught and addressed the whole nation with a higher spiritual values. Thanks, listeners and learners. Nice to see you. Nice to meet, all of you. Namaste, brothers and sisters, dear friends, all of you. I heartily, cordially welcome all of you again. Nice meeting you. Nice to see you. Nice to watch you. Thank you. Thank you, brothers.